Guys, this is a topic that I kind of wanted to talk about. There's a few things that have been on my mind. I've been playing a ton of Arena, and I still feel like, I've been doing things like, my Discipline Priest Challenge and playing Rep Paladin and playing my ults in Solo Shuffle and doing threes during the day, and I still feel like there is such a massive problem with deflation. And it could be the fact that there's not that many people playing. That could definitely be an issue. But if that is the case, I feel like they need to make some of these rewards like...
Well, if the problem is that there's not a lot of people playing, why don't you just adjust the algorithm for how many people are playing? Where people get more points and lose less points. Why can't you just change the numbers? Don't tell me that's not possible.
Like percent based or something like that. Like I don't know exactly what they need to do, but to start off, I want to show you guys this post that Lika made. If you guys don't know, Lika is the guy who made Drusvar, one of the websites that I reference quite a bit. But this is the approximate players over 2,400 in 3v3, 13 weeks into the season. Okay? So for reference, Shadowlands Season 1.
Bro, Shadowlands Season 1, the first month of Shadowlands PvP was so fun. It was actually, I would argue, a good game. It was lit. It was.
13 weeks into the season, there was 4,000, over 4,000 people in Europe, and over 3,000, almost 4,000.
Look at like what that difference is. It goes from 4,300 to 400. 404 players not found. Holy shit. That's a 90% drop.
People in North America. Interestingly enough, it seems as time goes on, this is really weird. So we'll look at Season 2 before I finish that thought. Season 2, obviously a huge drop off from Season 1. And I feel like a big part of the reason why so many people were high rated in Season 1 is because people PvE'd for gear. So people PvE'd for the badge trinket.
Hot take. Hot take. The game's better whenever there's overlap. I said it. It's just the game's better. Oh, but it's not fair. It's not fair. Oh, but that's it. Nope. I don't care. It's a better game. Stop balancing for people that play the game professionally.
Which was mega OP in PvP. And they also wanted to get a really good vault. So a bunch of people are playing this.
Of course.
What's interesting about Dragonflight, though, is I feel like these numbers are either one, because most people are just interested in Solo Shuffle.
Also, the gear sucked dick. That was a problem. What was the item level of the gear that you got in Season 1 Dragonflight if you're elite rating? I pretty much stopped playing PvP, so I don't remember what it was. What was the PvE item level? Does anybody remember, like, elite PvE item level? 421. No, it was not. It was not 421. I can guarantee you it was not 421. It was not 420. If I remember correctly, it was 424. Because Mythic Razagath was also 424. And maybe, I think, I don't know, it could be 421. 414. 433 was PvP weapon. But what was it for PvE? So, like, nobody even knows. Like, if you did a raid, was it 411? Yeah, I think 411 is probably about that. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 411. 411 was dog shit. You could get better gear out of just doing end of dungeon stuff out of Mythic Plus. It was base heroic item. Oh, yeah, that's garbage. So why would somebody do PvP if they just get gear that's shitty?
At the moment, like when I run around and inspect people that are PvPing, most of them are like 1,000 rated in 2s, 1,000 rated in 3s, and then
they're probably
whatever in Solo Shuffle.
Players.
It's always their highest rating in Solo Shuffle.
Yeah.
So that could be one of the reasons why we're seeing such a dip in Shadowlands. As you can see here, 574 and 571, a stark, almost like 10 times less, 8 times less, 7 times less than Shadowlands Season 1. And Dragonflight Season 2 is about the same, believe it or not. And what's interesting is Europe has taken the biggest hit. Feels like Europe is even, I don't want to say dead, that's not the nicest word to say, but it's even less active than in North America, which is kind of
I'm not sure why that is. I have no idea.
Crazy. I feel like a lot of people are just defaulting to solo shuffle, which, whatever. If people like solo shuffle more than rated 3v3, that's totally fine. But a consequence of that is one of the main rewards for PvPing, which is the gladiator mount, is very hard to get. It's very...
I stopped even trying. Like, I didn't even try. I'm like, it's gonna be a lot of time. And it's like, back in Shadowlands, I could just show up and we could do it the last week of the season. And like, who gives a fuck? I get the mount, it's okay. But like, then now it's like, you've got to figure out how to play the class. You've got to have the keybinds. And it's like, oh god. It was the first time that I missed Gladiator since Legion.
Very, very hard to get. And a bunch of people who prefer playing threes
and it's also like
now...
another thing is like, there's so many mounts in the game. People don't even know what the cool mounts are. Like, for example, like if somebody had Invincible back in the day, you knew they had a big dick. It was obvious, they're riding it. But like now, there's like so many cool mounts and things in the game. It's like everything is cool and everything is shiny and everything is special. And that means nothing is.
Kind of like in this position, you know, I've taught, it's not all anecdotal. I mean, I'm sure you guys can leave comments in this video or, you know, I'm curious. I asked my stream and a lot of people answered yes. Like, how many people got Gladiator in Shadowlands and cannot get it in Dragonflight? Like, how many people?
Sure, maybe I'd be able to if I tried. It would just take more time.
Gotta be a lot.
It would be a lot harder.
I think it's quite a few. We're reliably getting Gladiator in Shadowlands, which, you know, some people say is easy, whatever. At least it gives you something to work towards.
Yeah, it was easy. That was good.
But Dragonflight is very, very difficult. It is ramping up, but a separate problem is also solo shuffle MMR and some issues with solo shuffle. This isn't a new topic. This is something that I've talked about many times. I'm sure if you watch my channel, you have seen many videos on this as well, but there is a weird problem going on right now in solo shuffle with rating. So I feel like there's so many issues in the game that revolve around like weird matchmaking and not being able to get rating and not being able to get any rewards.
So what he's saying is that the people that are designing the numbers don't know how to do their job. That's about it. Who could have ever expected that? They're probably playing new dungeons in Diablo 4.
And one of those is from solo shuffle. Like right now, I don't know what it is. Is it this week? I think it started this week or it started last week.
It's a lizard
but
entertainment.
It used to be the case, like, I'll give you an example. Let's say, like, I have my alt, Spell Steal, and when I queue up on Spell Steal, I'm 2300 MMR, okay? This is how it used to be, okay? I could be 0 rating, 0 CR.
Dude, I just realized he was in... Like, I forgot that Dragonfight was level 70. I was thinking for the first, like, 2 minutes of this video, how the fuck is he playing on Burning Crusade server? Because his character level's 70, and he's using, like, tier 2 gear. So I was like, wait, what the fuck? But yeah, he's actually playing Dragonflight. He's in
0 CR, 2300 MMR, and I would get into a 2300 MMR lobby, okay?
Okay.
And it would just play out as normal. I did really well. I'd gain some rating. Maybe I'd gain some MMR.
Yeah.
You know, let's say I got into a 2300 MMR lobby. I went 5-1. Now my MMR, let's say I gained 500 rating because I was 0 CR. And because I went...
I think the top you can get is like 192, or it used to be.
500 or 5-1 in a 2300 lobby, I maybe gained like, you know, 70 MMR. Okay?
Right.
So now I'm at 2370 MMR. This is how it used to be, okay? This is how it used to be. Which to me made perfect sense. No big deal. Whatever. You're playing at your MMR. You're gaining rating based off your MMR. You're gaining, you know, CR and MMR based off your MMR. Now something weird happens. The new system is very bizarre. So let's take that exact same character with the new system Now I get put into a 1600 lobby. I get put into a 1600 lobby. Instead of playing at my MMR, I'm playing way closer to my CR. And I don't know if this is a bug or if this is an intentional change. But
I bet they probably did this to stop boosting. That way it's harder to boost people that have low rating, because you have to play off of their CR and not have too high MMR players boost their MMR up.
Now higher rated characters are being put into lower lobbies, especially when they're lower rating, which is it's kind of abusive to low lobbies, to be honest with you. But let's say I go 5-1 in this lobby. Maybe I'll still gain 500 rating. Let's say I still gain 500 rating. I will actually lose MMR. So instead of being 2300 MMR, I'll actually get minus 70 MMR for losing a single game. Even though in this lobby I went 5-1, because it's such a low lobby, the game punishes you heavily. So even though I went 5-1 in the 1600 lobby, you could make an argument, oh, you should have 6-0'd. Okay, but it feels pretty bad to lose almost 100 MMR. And also, like, there's a few things going on here. Number one,
it feels like shit.
With this new system, if you go 5-1, you lose MMR. Pretty shitty feeling.
Yeah,
Number
true.
two, you're playing against people that are way out of your league. You know what I mean? Like, you're just...
Well, that's what's so bad, is that, like, it's designed in a way that nobody has a good time. Because if you're 1600 rating, you don't want to queue into somebody who's 2.3k, because they're just going to completely destroy you, and you're not going to have a chance. Like, the difference in skill is so big that you're probably not even going to learn anything. You're not even going to know what happened. So, like, the people that are getting their ass beat are having a bad time, and then the person who's 2300 is having a bad time because they lose one game, then they have, like, a massive amount of MMR on the line, and they'll lose it. And also, like, of course, they can't control the outcome because there's two other players on the team, so it's kind of out of their control to an extent. It's astonishing how you can change a system that worked fine for like 10 years and make it worse for literally everyone. It's actually kind of impressive.
Just playing in these lobbies where someone's just going to 6-0 or 5-1. You know what I mean? Every single time, because they're just playing their ult and they're just way better than the people in the lobby, which is abusive to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
But this is one issue that's going on in Solo Shuffle right now. It actually feels like Solo Shuffle is even more deflated than before. And
well, it's also because people are going to stop playing. Like, the truth is, like, WoW is like kind of in a lull. You know, like, there's nothing like really exciting about the game. Obviously, people will come back and play the game, but I personally don't think that like people are particularly like hyped about it. Like, let me look on Twitch Tracker. That's actually a good thing. I'm curious. Twitch Tracker, and then we will look at statistics for games, and then we will look at World of Warcraft. Oh, it's not even on there. Search World of Warcraft categories. Can I zoom in on this? Like, World of Warcraft viewership, the last time it was this low was in October of 2021. Which was when, keep in mind, October of 2021 was the year that, or sorry, the month, it was a month after New World came out. And it was also whenever people were still not playing World of Warcraft because of the lawsuit. And it was still like Korthia time. And the last time it was that low, well, the same one's pretty much there. And let's see here. July, the reason why July was so high was Race to World first. And then, let's see, the last time it was that low. Looking at 24.2. Was April of 2019. So April of 2019, the reason why it was so low, May of 2019, I actually would have expected it to be more here because there was the classic WoW beta. But, again, like, this was like BFA, like prime time for it being bad. And also, like, in terms of the amount of channels that are streaming it, right? 846. The last time it was that low was in 2018 with 778. Like, look at all those red numbers. Not good.
Rated Arena also, I don't know, this is just like a random rant video, but rated 3v3 feels weird because when I queue on my highest rated characters, it feels like MMR is going up. But when I queue during the day, it doesn't feel like the middle section is actually going up, which is weird. Like, people that are like hard stuck 2200, I feel like they're not slowly climbing. They're still just hard stuck 2200.
Yeah, you're not making any progress in the game. You're like treading water constantly. There's no long-term rewards that are attached to anything besides just getting a next rating requirement. Like, you don't have placements or anything like that. So it's like every single game you make basically zero traction.
But like the upper echelons, like the top 100 is continuing to like go up and up and up. And I don't know if that's because no MMR is being like injected into the system because nobody plays during the day. Or it's like,
well, I don't think nobody plays during the night either. The problem is that there aren't enough people. The more people that are playing, generally, the higher the ratings are. Like, whenever you think of the seasons with the most ratings, those are the seasons that have the highest ratings. Those are the seasons that have the most players.
There's such a gap at this point. I really don't know what it is. Yeah, it's just really, really weird. Another problem that's going on right now, speaking of solo shuffle, is healers. Like, whatever's going on, healers, man, I've tried. I'm sorry, guys. If you're a healer, I've tried very hard. I've tried very hard to make videos and make things better. I mean, obviously, I don't know. It's a complicated topic, but
there's too many spells and things in the game. It's just too much. Like, imagine trying to heal. Playing a healer is like playing whack-a-mole, except you're the mole. And there's two people with hammers, not just one.
You have these situations as a healer. What's up, Dilbar? How you doing? You have these situations as a healer where, like, it's so hard to gain rating. It's so punishing. It's so hard to gain rating. Like, Lone Tar made this post. That's what he said. He said, one of the reasons why solo shuffle is slowly dying is because of this. Sure, the other healer is low MMR, and I shouldn't get much rating if I win, but if I win the lobby 4-2, I should get rewarded, even if it's just a little bit. Instead, I lose MMR. So, like, imagine that.
So that's the thing, right? Is like it creates a frustrating and non-rewarding outcome for everyone. Like, 3 people here get 0 rating. One guy loses 58 rating. One guy gets 64 rating, and somebody gets 15. So, like, you do the math on this, and it's like, it's a net positive, but not for most. Like, 4 people in this group get fucked in the ass.
Lontar just queues up a competitive mode, and sure, he's playing against a healer that's a little bit lower rated than him, but that's not his fault. It's just a coin flip, right? You just flip a coin, and if the other healer is lower MMR than you, you're screwed. And if he's higher MMR than you, then it's Yahtzee, right? It's just the luck of the draw, which is really, really unfortunate. So, in this lobby, you can see that he won 4 games out of the 6, and he lost MMR. He got 0 rating, and he lost MMR.
Imagine winning most of the matches and you still lose. Isn't that cute?
Now, this is happening to healers all over the place. Like, I've been playing my Disc Priest a lot, and it's actually hard. It feels like it's hard as a healer to do better than 3-3. Like, 3-3 is very respectable as a healer, right? Like, especially if there's one DPS that's just like a mega carry in the lobby. But when you 3-3, you just get nothing. And then if you happen to get another, like, let's just say you go 3-3, you get nothing. Sometimes you actually lose rating for going 3-3. If the enemy healer or your opponent is lower MMR than you, even if you tie and go 3-3, you lose MMR. You're making negative progress for tying.
Oh my god.
Which is a very frustrating feeling.
Oh my god.
And then on top of that, if you happen to get in another lobby and it's the same thing, you're just slowly scoobying your MMR, and then let's just pretend you go 2-4, or let's even pretend that you
go 2-4, you get 0, you get nothing out of it.
3-3 against a lower MMR healer 3 times. So you tie again, you tie again. Then you get into a lobby, they're lower MMR once again, but you actually win the lobby. You go like 5-1 or you go 4-2. This is your first game. Because your MMR has been slowly tanking, you actually get almost no reward whatsoever for winning. So even when you win, you're not really gaining any rewards. It's so weird. It's actually so...
Oh, wow. He was in queue this whole time? Well, I think that says a lot right there.
Difficult to climb rating as a healer. And I was speaking with Dilbar, who happens to be in my stream right now.
Holy shit.
He told me on the second...
I guess the only surprising thing here is it actually popped during the video. I mean, it's only a 17-minute video, so he must have started recording 20 minutes into the queue.
Second day of the season, he got 2460 rating.
That's a lot.
And since the second day of the season, 13 weeks in, he has not been able to break 1500. Which seems... Or not 1500, 2500. Yeah. So he has...
Wow, what a fun game. That's crazy. And so, like, you're treading water ever since the first or second week of the season. What a fun game. Incredible.
Hasn't been able to go up 40 rating at 13 weeks. Like, something about that seems really, really weird. Right? And once again, if healers aren't playing, we're sitting long queues. You can see right now I'm in an almost 20-minute queue.
Well,
I just sat a 30.
The reason why healers aren't queuing is because it's not fun to play a healer. I think that's probably the reason why. I could be wrong, but I bet that's why. It's not fun to play.
3-minute queue on my ret. It takes a while. Healing is actually, like, gameplay-wise, healing's not that bad, but it makes it really bad when you have such a small margin for error, and even if you win a lobby, you don't get anything. And sometimes you win a lobby and you actually lose MMR like this. Like, it's really, really, really frustrating. So as a DPS, it's tough to climb. As a healer, it's tough to climb.
Yep.
3v3 is in kind of a weird spot now, too, because it feels like 3v3 is still super deflated. I don't know, man. It's weird. It's like gearing. There's this problem right now where gearing is really easy, which I love. Like, getting gear is really easy. Play alts, it's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
But there's the sense of progress that people have in the game. Like, people still want to have that feeling of progress. They want to have that feeling of improving. They want to get the rewards, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it feels like because MMR/inflation is so stagnant right now, you can't even gain the rewards. Like, people aren't gaining rating.
Well, you're not gaining... Yeah, that's the thing, is, like, you would continuously grind rating. And, like, I think it's better for... I think that a season... Like, rank 1 should be around, like, 3k rating. I think. Like, I feel like every season where, like, the ratings are that high, it's probably good. But I think the honest... Like, the genuine problem here... Let me look at the ladder and see for myself right now. WoW PvP 3v3 ladder. US. Let's take a look at it. Not a single person is 3k on the ladder. That is insane. Holy shit. What about, oh, it is for both factions. Okay. Well, I mean, there you fucking go. Look at the gap. Yeah. And also, like, this guy, like, this is 2.9k. And it's already down to, like, there's only 4 people that are above 2.8k. Between 4 and 5, there's a 100-point difference. That is huge. So, like, look at this. You're already down to 2,600. We'll go to page 4. Page 4 is 2,500. And let's look at 5. Let's see here, 2455, 2426. So how many people are over 2400 right now? 700 people are over 2400. That is really, really bad. Especially if you compare it to how it was like back in the day. There were way more people playing. I think, like, one of the big problems too is that the game just isn't super hype right now. Like, it doesn't feel, at least it doesn't feel that way to me. Like, I could be wrong. I could be, like, totally off base on this. But, like, if I go over and I look at this, like, what's going on in Warlow? Where's World of Warcraft? What's Joker doing? He's
Statistics, character. It says 0.
He's reporting people for botting.
It's a new character. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's a brand new character, right?
So,
yeah, like this character didn't exist like 1 second ago. How can it have farmed gold? I don't know how you're saying you saw a bot that farmed 50k. They're brand new characters. Yeah, exactly. They're literally getting the achievement. They're getting the achievement that says, like, you know, you got the trinket. Unless there's another method of doing it. My god, bro. How long is it gonna take, you think, for Blizzard to fix this?
he thinks they're gonna fix it. Bro, he thinks they're
A year? Dude, if this lasted a year, like, gold would be like 10 times less valuable. Like, they're you know what I'm saying? These guys are adding so much gold to the economy.
Didn't that already happen?
Nuts.
Yeah, what about last year?
Yeah. What is going on? We're below Augermark to see the bots.
Oh my god.
That's what we're doing. There's no bots right now, but any second you're gonna see a level 70 booster rogue appear who's fly hacking. Because if you can see a player here, that means they're like either fly hacking or they're just doing what we're doing. They just came down to the ground.
It's like bird
They're
watching.
gonna do some quests, make gold, and after 40 seconds they mail the gold. There's a mailbox to like another character, and then they delete their character and do it again. It's a loop. I don't see any bots though, guys. Wait, can I not see them anymore? Do you guys see any bots? It got fixed. There's none at the moment. Maybe they fixed it. Yeah. This is a really good streak of no bots.
I think that it's probably more likely that the people running the bot know that
There you go,
people
boys. Maybe Blizzard has.
No, there's no way. They just stopped doing it.
I'm just saying, dude. It's been a long time. What? They're gone?
Yeah, the bots know.
Or?
Because like, you
it's
know,
a
they're
massive
watching
coincidence
streams.
if there's no bots for this long.
So
Wow.
this is the most compelling the most compelling World of Warcraft content outside of this guy. Who's this guy? He's a German dude. Oh fuck. Okay. What's he doing? Well, he's playing classic, right? Because you can see he's in Trial of the Crusader. And let's see. This guy's playing retail WoW. This is retail, classic. I don't know what's going on the screen, so it's probably retail. It's like most people are playing classic anyway.
They're not getting their rewards. It's just really, really tough. I feel bad. Like, I was talking with my stream about this earlier. I feel like there's not much of like a middle class in WoW anymore. You know what I mean? It's like the middle class
Just
is
like
just getting
real life.
stomped out of all the rewards by
Just like real
rank 1
life.
players and gladiator players on their alts.
Just like real
You know?
life. True.
People on their 5th DK, or you know, the people just like me. I mean, I have a bunch of different classes right now. I have a rep paladin, I have a windwalker monk, I have 2 mages, I have a resto shaman, a discipline priest. Not that those are very threatening, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not the only one either. Like, most people have tons and tons and tons and tons of alts that they're queuing on. I know these are people that play all day, like me, but it just, I don't really know. Like, I feel like at this point in the season, it should be like how it was in Season 1, where like people should be 3,200, 3,300. You know what I mean?
Season 1 was still
and people
bad.
that are 2,400 actually aren't just fighting the best players in the entire game. There needs to be like more of a gap.
Well, that's the issue, right? Is like you'll queue into rank 1 gladiators at like 1,800 rating, 1,900 rating. Like, how is somebody who's 18 or 1,900 supposed to do that?
Bro, I thought it was going crazy. I thought healing fast tracked to some rating. I could not climb. It's so heartbreaking. You actually can't gain rating as a healer.
Ooh.
It's actually crazy.
How exciting.
You have to be really fucking good. Like, I'm doing a discipline priest challenge right now, and I unironically I almost got 2,100. I was 1 game away from 2,100, and then I scubaed to 1,800. and now I'm actually hard stuck 1900 again.
Jesus.
It's crazy, man. And I like, maybe you guys think I'm not the best player, but I feel like I have a pretty good awareness. You know, I understand all the classes. I'm pretty good at cooldown trading. Like,
Well,
I know.
This is the other problem that WoW has, is that the skill cap for the game is so high because there's so many things that are happening simultaneously that you have to be aware of. Like, compare this to, like, League of Legends, where you only have a few buttons. And I know the few buttons matter way more. But, like, it's the amount of things that you have to know. It's nuts.
General strats, like, and I can't get 2100. I just can't do it on my disc priest. It's so fucking hard. It's crazy.
Yeah, well, it's hard. No, I'm not saying it isn't hard. What I'm saying here is that, like, if you compare the amount of buttons that League of Legends has versus like World of Warcraft or one of these MMOs, think about just like the baseline knowledge that you have to compete. That's what I'm trying to talk about. How many keybinds you need, like how much knowledge, how many debuffs and shit like that. It is insane.
So, I mean, the hope for people to actually get like 2400 is pretty low. It's really crazy. I don't know.
And also, like, another problem is that it's the viewability. Like, if I watch a retail WoW PvP game, if you don't play the game consistently, you don't know what's happening. Like, you have no idea what's happening in the game. If I watch a League game, I know what's happening. I can see, like, okay, these guys are trading attacks, he's leveling up, there's like an item, he's killing these monsters, there's this guy, he's running after him. Like, it's easy to understand what's happening. It's the same as, like, you know, you compare Overwatch versus Valorant. In my opinion, like, Valorant can be hard to watch, but, like, it's way easier to watch than Overwatch.
I just feel like they either need to redesign a totally new system for like a future expansion, or like I don't really know. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to have a conversation. Like, I'd like to know your guys' thoughts.
PvP has to have better rewards and more things that you can get out of it, and a better reward structure in general. So I think that's why, and it also has to have a reason to PvP. Like, the problem is that, like, most of the WoW players are people, like, if I look at the ladder, like, a lot of these people have been on the ladder for 10 years. Right? Not every single one of them, but a lot of these people have been playing the game for a very, very long time. And it's like the same people every single season, constantly, year after year. And the problem is that, like, you just have, like, yeah, there's no new blood. Because, again, why would somebody want to go and play WoW PvP whenever it's not hype anywhere? Like, you don't get viewers playing it, you don't make money playing it, you don't get Discord kittens playing it, you don't get anything.
I think people are getting discouraged that their rating is just not moving. They're not getting any new rewards. They, you know, last season hit certain milestones and now they're not even close to it. Last expansion, they hit certain milestones and now they're not even close to it. And I bet it's frustrating. Someone asked if MMR deflation all to blame, though. There's a site where you can see PvP activity. It's much lower now than Season 1, if that's correct.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Season 1 PvP activity is always going to be higher. It's the same as the start of BFA. And also, first season of BFA was kind of fun. But, like, the reason why is because more people are playing at the beginning of the expansion. It's not really a surprise.
I think it's a combination, though. Like, why do you think activity's lower? You think that anybody just... You think players... Like, let me ask you a question, and maybe I'm wrong about this. Do you think that players maybe stop playing when they have no hope of gaining rating? Like,
yeah,
if you're...
yeah, I think so. I think once people hit the... like, their hard cap, and they feel like they can't progress past that, yeah, I think they do.
You're just a healer that's queuing, and you're just stuck 1700, and your rating never goes up week after week after week after week after week after week after week.
Why wouldn't you stop playing?
You're still 1700. Or you're a DPS, and it's the same thing. And maybe even last season you hit like 2400. You know, is that going to be discouraging you to the point of not even wanting to try? Like, maybe the cat's out of the bag with MMR inflation, where people realize getting rewards is just way easier at the end of the season, and playing the beginning of the season really doesn't matter all that much.
Well,
You know?
it used to because you could get really good gear, but now you can't get really good gear because Mythic Plus is better. Like, my opinion is, like, I think Arena and PvP is probably marginally more fun than Mythic Plus. I think Mythic Plus is, I don't think it's a fundamentally fun activity. Whereas, like, I think raiding is a fundamentally fun activity that there are barriers to entry for it that make it less fun. Like, for example, like runbacks, buffing, summons, like trash mobs, like all this stuff, like, makes raiding not fun. But, like, Mythic Plus, fundamentally, I don't think is really that fun. Personally. Like, that, and this is my opinion. I could be wrong. Like, and also, like, maybe I'm not wrong, it's just my opinion.
I feel like there's a lot of people in that camp too, where it's like, why do I even bother? If I'm just playing for the rewards, why even bother doing it at the beginning when I could just do it at the end?
Mythic rating lockout is dog shit. Do they still have the Mythic rating lockouts now? Yeah? Why? You haven't seriously tried Mythic Plus in a long time now? No, I haven't. The reason I haven't is because it's not fun. Why would I play something that's not fun?
Unsubbed for months because there was no reason to play in the season.
It's just stupid.
And then once I missed 1 week, I felt like I was too far behind to come back. Even
So
now,
now
I get my
Mythic's
daily
not
win
meant to
and
be
soul shuffle
pluggable?
for conquest and log off. Not fun to play with no gear
Okay.
and get stomped
Then
and
people aren't
flamed.
gonna play the game.
Yeah, that's tough for sure.
Like,
But I
okay.
I feel like in general, gearing is pretty easy. Yeah, I feel like gearing is pretty easy in general, but it's like one of those things where you kind of need a fully geared character to easily get gear. So, gearing is not really my issue. My issue is just nobody can gain any rating. And to be completely transparent, I do feel like the top end 3v3 rating has gone up, but I don't know. It's weird trying to...
Nah. Like, at this point in the season, there should absolutely be people over 3K. Like, 100%. Within, like, 2 or 3 weeks at the start of BFA, like, there were tons of people over 3K.
Learn from nothing this season. The main reward feels so unobtainable. I just focus on the next major milestone. Well, that's what you got to do. Just take it one step at a time, you know? But, yeah, I'm curious what your guys' thoughts are on this whole situation. This isn't necessarily a rant video, but just a topic that's been on my mind and feel like it's worth having a discussion about.
Well, there we go. I mean, it's kind of sad that, you know, it's like Vinruki has been, like, so passionate about PvP for, like, so long, and it's like, I feel like Blizzard just, they're just not really, like, it's like every change takes so long. Like, how is it this bad? Like, when did this patch come out? Like, months ago, right? I'm trying to remember, like, when did it come out? Like, at least over a month ago, I think. And they still haven't figured out the MMR problem, even after it was a problem in Season 1 also? Like, what the fuck? How is this a problem for more than a week? Like, what is this? Like, who are these people? Like, what are they doing? And by the time they fix it, nobody's gonna care. And it's like, remember, like, Blizzard said, oh, we're gonna start inflating the MMR, like, 17 weeks into Season 1 of, like, Dragonflight or something like that. It was crazy. There's a video right there. It's a Vinruki video. You know, give it a like, because, trying to make WoW PvP better. I don't think MMO PvP is ever gonna be anything more than a meme at this point, because there's just, like, so many more competitive avenues. Like, I feel like MOBAs kind of... all of the hype that was around MMO PvP, MOBAs took all of that hype. Like, back in Cataclysm, all of the... like, I would say about 30% to 50% of the PvPers in Cataclysm, at one point or another in Cataclysm or Mists of Pandaria, mostly Cataclysm, moved over to League or Dota. Because all they wanted to do was PvP, and they wanted to play a top-down, third-person game, and so they just moved over. But, like, before then, in, like, Wrath and BC, that was the best thing that you had. How would you lure new blood in with PvP or PvE in WoW? I don't think you can. The game's too, it's like, there's too much going on. I think also PvP, this is like a super hot take. I think if you get better gear than somebody, you should just be able to kill them. That's it. Like, yeah, you should just be able to kill them. And, like, because if you have everything be, like, super balanced, where, like, everybody's on the same gear level, I just think, like, the best thing that you're doing is you're providing a worse experience than a MOBA. Or you're providing a worse experience than a PvP game. Whereas if you at least let people get better gear and kill each other with cool gear and like cool weapons and like effects, then at least it's unique. At least it's something different. Sure, but in a rating setting, hell no. Well, there shouldn't even be like the ratings. The rated setting shouldn't matter. And the problem is that if you don't have an and this is the problem with WoW, is that there's not an unrated PvP culture, so there's no rated PvP culture, because that's the funnel. Is that you have WoW players that do unrated PvP, and then they move into rated PvP. But if you don't allow them to make that transition, then you lose the player base. MOBAs will always be imbalanced unless skill ceiling in WoW Arena, though. Well, that's better, though. Because, like, the thing is that balance is fun. Nobody likes playing an unbalanced bad game. But also, WoW isn't balanced either. And the higher skill ceiling isn't a good thing, always. It's not like the harder the game is, the better the game is. Like, I don't think that's the way, I don't think that's the way it works. I think for a lot of people, like, they want to be able to get into a game, understand it, and be able to play proficiently kind of quickly. Whereas, like, now, what the fuck is going on? Look at all of these things. There's too many things on the screen. Straight up, just too many fucking things on the screen, too many things going on, too many factors. It's just too much. And this guy's like one of the best players, right? He's a very good player. So it's not like, you know, like he doesn't know what he's doing and he just has a bunch of stuff on there for no reason. And like you look at Mythic Plus, right? Look at this. Like there's just so much going on. Like, we'll wait till they have a... Oh, no, this is about to be the end of the boss fight. Yeah, it's all over. Let me see if I can find another one. I can always tell which ones are retail because I don't know what's happening on the screen. Oh, yeah, this one looks like a real shit show. Probably retail WoW. Okay, let's take a look at... Oh, my God. Okay, how about this guy? What the fuck is this? Who the fuck sees this and says, oh, I want to start playing the game? This is insane. Like, what is this? And like, if you play the game, you know what everything is. But like, look at all of those cooldowns he has to keep track of. This is literally, he's keeping track of 25 cooldowns, I think. Oh no, it's a little bit less, like 20 cooldowns. So there's this, and then, and this is what Mythic Plus is, right? Again, just like a massive mess of things. Look at this. Oh, they died. We'll see if they do an AoE pull. 132 deaths. Well, hey, you can't win them all, right? It is what it is. They'll probably still make... Wait, they've been in there for 2 hours? Hey, it is what it is. A NASA space launch, NASA space rocket launch has more than this, or less buttons than this. Yeah, that's actually true. It's just, it's a big problem. Let's see here. I was just kind of hoping that, like, we'd be able to see, like, actual gameplay. Okay, here we go. So, like, just watch one pull here. And then I want to move on. Okay, here we go. The prep before the poll is the gameplay? Yeah. So each of these NPCs all has their own debuff that you all need to worry about. You're paying attention to like all of their attacks. You also have the UI, or sorry, the Mythic Plus affixes at the same time. Like, this is nuts. Like, how's anybody gonna pay attention or like know what the fuck is going on? It's just, it's insane. You still need to interrupt? Yeah, and also, like, I think they fucked up a pull, that's why they died. So, like, the pull would be even bigger naturally. Yeah, it's like, look at all these guys, and like, this one's probably gonna pull. Yeah, here we go. There's like all of this stuff going on at the same time. And like, you can't even really know what's happening because there's just so many effects happening at the same time, like constantly. Can you see the affixes? Yeah, it's, Raging is one of them, and I don't see the other one. But yeah. You suck if you can't handle this dungeon? Well, yeah, but most people suck. Like, that's just the truth, right? Is that most people that play the game suck at the game because they don't play it 12 hours a day. Like, they don't want to keep up with 17 different debuffs on 5 different mobs with a cooldown, 5 different cooldowns and a rotation of 6 different buttons. Like, they just don't want to do that. It's exhausting and tiresome, and, it just ends up not happening. So, like, I don't care, like, it's are you good or bad? Who gives a fuck if you're good or bad? That's, like, completely beside the point. But, yeah, there was I think Tyson actually put a tweet out about this. Yeah, players have found a way to exploit the 70 boost multiple times. Look at this. Multiple times on the same account. Bots are creating fresh boosted 70 rogues and completing the first few quests while fly hacking and stealth. They are then getting the 100 gold they receive from the quests and mailing it to a mule character before rinse and repeating the bot all over again. Here we go. This seems normal. Yeah. Beep, beep, beep. Yep. And then you look at, like, everybody freedom for the of the horde, right? They're just spamming it, right? Because that's what all these guys are getting the achievements. And it's like, you're really telling me that Blizzard can't figure this out? It's astonishing. They boost for 100 gold? Well, yeah, but, like, I mean, if you have a stolen credit card, it's like you're getting a free boost, right? So, like, if you can make 100 gold in 5 minutes, with no, no restriction, that means how much gold can you make in an hour? Whatever, like, what that's, like, 100 times, like, fucking, like, what, 12? So 1,200 gold. 1,200 gold an hour, and then you're selling that. That's a lot. They have an exploit to refund the boost. Yeah, there you go. So they're getting the boost for free. So that's pretty much what's going on.